Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Record. Today I have the honor to have an exclusive interview with the singer and songwriter from Greece, Dislike Tonality from the Pigeonhole Project. Welcome to Record.
Go down until the point of sadness. Reach out for higher meaning than that you used to know. Be still and don't evoke your madness. And find the meaning. And find the meaning. Oh, 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 oh.
How did the Pigeonhole Project come to life and what inspired the name?
Okay, so the Pigeonhole project came to life in 2010, I believe. It was just after my band split up. My first band it was called Yorana, and we split up. And so I had a lot of songs and ideas. And it happened that a friend of mine at that period was opening a studio, a recording studio. And he told me to go there and just write something just for fun. And so I started recording those ideas. And also I started singing, which was the first time I did that. And yeah, one thing led to another. I had lots of songs and I found a bass player, actually Kostas Klagos, who was the bass player in the previous band, and I found a friend of mine who played drums. We recorded our first demo, and that's how it started. Basically, it was out of luck. I don't know. And yeah, as for the name, I think I stole it from a friend of mine. We were out drinking some beer when I had already begun the sessions, the recording sessions. And he was like, wouldn't you think Pigeonhole would be a cool band's name? And I was like, okay, and yeah, I stole it. And then I put the project on the end of the name, so that, because there was a Canadian band called Pigeonhole, a hip hop, so I didn't want to have the same name, so I put the project, which was kind of useful because as years progressed, a lot of musicians would come and go into this project and into the Pigeonhole project. So that's how it happened. And it was basically a new way of expressing, a new project of expressing my musical ideas. And as for my other project, Dislike Tonality, which is my solo project, it began out of luck again. I just met Ioannis Voudouris, who is a producer and a musician, and we started recording like for fun, and suddenly we had this new sound, more acoustic, and it began to happen again, just out of luck. Everything happens out of luck. And the name of Dislike Tonality was again playing with words and trying to find something that nobody else had it. And then thinking about it, it's like Dislike Tonality. It suits my music because I don't stay in one musical key. I change keys and maybe it suits.
Your music blends different styles. How did you describe your signature sound?
Well, I don't know, I got lots of influences, and as I grow older, I tend to listen to more different types of music, different styles. So, yeah, I began listening to music when I was a child, and my first the thing that shook my head was like the grunge scene from Seattle, the grunge movement with bands like Nirvana, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, and yeah, so I always like their honesty. It's not only about the music, it's about being real and honest. And I also like punk music. But then as years progress, right now I can listen to experimental music a lot. I can listen to classical music. So I think, I don't know about my signature sound. And I'm not sure if I can answer this question, but I feel that I don't know, maybe it's cool chord progression and with the band it's more energetic, it's kind of more up tempo, in your face, and with this light tonality it's a little bit more lo-fi, more dark, and it talks about themes like loss, rebirth. So I think if we put it on a label, I would say that it's alternative rock or indie, maybe grunge, and a little bit of experimental as well.
What message do you want listeners take away from your songs?
What message? Well, I don't know. I always like music that was true and honest, and I hope that comes across my music as well in both projects. So the message is to just be yourself. Don't try to pretend to be somebody else. Be original, and don't be afraid of the darkness. Don't be afraid of brightness. Don't be afraid to express your feelings. And as long as you don't hurt somebody else, just be honest and be yourself and be original. That's the only message, I think.
How has collaboration shaped your creative process?
Well, I've been collaborating from an early age, like with my first band, Iorana, where I wasn't singing, I was just playing the guitar. I was the lead guitar player. So we would all write songs. So I had a guitar idea, I would go to the singer, Kostis Maloutas, and he would put the melody and the lyrics. And so this thing has been happening since I was a teenager. So it always felt that that's how it's supposed to be done. It's normal. And still, until this day, even with a band, even if it started with my songs, now that we have a lineup since 2019 where it's more steady, we haven't changed the lineup, we still collaborate in the new songs, and there's a song that Lefteris Kavouras wrote that we recently released as a single. It's called Sometimes, and he wrote the music and the lyrics. He heard the melody in his head while he was sleeping. So yeah, that was a cool thing, and I went to his home and we kind of found the song and the arrangements, and it happened like that. So it's a thing I'm really proud of, and I hope it continues happening. As for the dislike tonality, since I met Ioannis Voudouris, the producer, I think it's a collaboration project because he has opinion about the instrumentation, he has opinion about the structure of the song, and we kind of do it together. I mean, I have the song idea and the lyrics and the melody, but we kind of paint the sound together. So yeah, that's a huge part of me, collaboration. And also my new release is gonna be a song as Dislike Tonality with a good friend of mine, Thetis Parmenidou, and her project is called Except Elephant, and it's a song we wrote like during summer, even though it's a sad song, and I wrote the music and she wrote the lyrics, and we are in the process of recording that one. So I strongly believe that you learn a lot of things with collaborating with different people, and it's a good thing. It's a healthy, good thing to do.
Can you share a moment in your career that deeply impacted you?
Yeah, it's not a moment that has to do with music. It's a health-related moment. I'm gonna be honest about this one. Like 15 years ago, I think 14 years, I had a mental issue breakdown, and I really struggled to recover, but and that affected the music I was creating at the time, and I couldn't write, I couldn't do anything. So it's like I've lost everything, and I even lost music. That's how I felt, but somehow I kept doing it, and I don't know, one thing led to another, and music started happening again, and I felt that I had a lot of things to say. I've been, because I was at a really low point of my life, and by expressing those things through music, and healing with music. It was like a healing process. That's the thing that I'm most proud of. And I'm glad, and I wouldn't change anything from what happened at that period, because I learned a lot of things about myself, music, people, everything. And in general, it's every time I love playing with my band live. Every time we play live, it's amazing, and especially when there's a lot of people down on the audience, and the energy bounces from us to them. I can't explain it. It's one of the coolest, most beautiful feelings I've felt. And also the last album that I released, my solo album with Dislike Tonality Until Empathy, it's a moment that I'm really proud of this album, and it means a lot to me, and the songs are very new. I just wrote them like 2 years ago, 1 year ago, some months ago. So they still speak to me, and I'm really proud for this album.
How do you see the future of the alternative and experimental music?
I don't know, it's weird because alternative, it's like 30 years old right now, and it started in the late 80s, I think, 90s, with the indie like bands like Sonic Youth, Pixies, and I mean, it still speaks to me. I'm a big fan of that kind of music, and it has a lot of things inside of it. It's not just one thing, but I don't know. I feel that I don't hear a lot of original stuff anymore as I used to, and I don't know why that happens. It's weird. It's like rock, alternative music, experimental music. They don't get out on the mainstream as they used to, and maybe that's the reason we don't hear about those kind of music genres. But I'm hopeful that maybe something new will happen, a new movement at some point. We don't know. And right now, I think the movement that's happening is with rap music, hip hop, trap, which I'm not a big fan of, but it's happening. And it's like rap is way on the top, and rock is kind of like an old genre. But I don't know, you never know. But it's weird because a lot of things are happening in the whole society. There's wars, there's difficulties, and I just feel that there's no movement expressing the anger and the frustration about what is happening right now, and hopefully something new will come and will blow our minds. And so I think I'm positive and optimistic that music, alternative, whatever label, will find its way. I mean, it's all about writing a good song, good music. I don't care about the label and the genre, and if it's alternative, R&B, I don't care. But it has to be a good song, and I think it will come back at some point.
If you could collaborate with any artist, who would it be and why?
You mean with live ones? Okay, so anyone? I'm a huge Beatles fan, and I grew up listening to Beatles, and I don't know, imagine if Paul McCartney would call me and like ask me to do a collaboration song. That would be amazing. And I don't know, maybe Johnny Greenwood, the guitarist of Radiohead. I really love his way of playing, of creating. He's very experimental, and I've learned so many things by that kind of collaboration. And of my dreams. Also, I would love to collaborate with, have you heard of Graham Coxon? He's a guitar player from the band Blur, the English band Blur. And I've been following his solo work like all these years, and he's amazing. And I don't know, so many people, but maybe Dua Lipa also. I don't know. Anyway, I think those would be the top people that I would love to collaborate with.
What does authenticity in the music mean to you?
Yeah, authenticity means everything to me. It's, I think you have to be original and find your inner voice and try to express it through your music. And I mean, you can have influences. We all have influences, like all of from different areas of the musical spectrum, but at the end of the day, we must express who we really are, and we must create something, a song, an album, whatever, a painting that speaks first of all to us, and it's who we are, and be proud of it, and then whatever is gonna happen is gonna happen. But yeah, just try to be original. I think authenticity is very important to me.
Finally, what means Reconnecting Global Artists mean for you personally?
It means a lot, and I'm really proud and honored by you for this interview. And I don't know, it's a good way of new people, independent artists, of expressing themselves and people learning about them. So it's a great platform, and thank you very much. As I said, I'm very honored to be on this platform.
Thank you so much for this exclusive interview, and I wish you a beautiful weekend.